What is the difference between bison and buffalo? Wild cow-like animals are among the most successful groups of megafauna ever, and a few species are even traditional and modern cultural icons. Yet there still remains confusion around two words in this animal group, bison and buffalo. So what's the story? Are these words simply interchangeable? Or are we talking about completely different animals? Well, that's what today's video is all about. So without further ado, let's get into the topic of bison versus buffalo. What is a bison? Bison are large mammals in the bovidae family, along with several other animals, including domestic cattle. Bison is also the name of the genus these animals belong to. There have been many bison species throughout history and prehistory, but these days we only have two. The most famous species is the American bison, known to taxonomists as bison. There are two subspecies, the plains bison, bison, and the woods bison, bison athabasci. The other species is the highly endangered European bison, Bison bonasus, which is also called a zebra or wisent. Now, one massive point of confusion is that some people often refer to both American and European bison as buffalo. Even official institutions sometimes use buffalo to refer to these animals, but this is not taxonomically correct. Yes, bison are massive wild bovines that form impressive and intimidating herds that dominate a landscape, but that does not make them true buffaloes. Genetic analyses have revealed that bison are more closely related to yaks than actual buffaloes. Yaks, which are native to the Himalayas, belong to the Bos genus, and some taxonomists have even suggested that bison be reclassified under this genus because of their genetic proximity to yaks. European bison also share a lot of their mitochondrial DNA with aurochs and domestic cattle. Bison are believed to have emerged in Asia sometime during the late Pliocene to early Pleistocene, roughly 3 to 2.6 million years ago. The scientific consensus is that they evolved from an animal called Leptobos, which was widespread in Eurasia during the Pliocene. The earliest bison fossils were discovered in India and China, and these date back 3.4 to 2.6 million years. The earliest bison fossils discovered in Europe were found in Georgia and date back 1.8 million years. During the Middle Pleistocene, Bison priscus, or the steppe bison, covered vast swaths of Eurasian land mass, and some individuals eventually made their way to North America via the Bering Land Bridge. These steppe bison eventually diverged into further species, Bison latifrons and Bison antiquus. Scientists believe that modern American bison are descendants of antiquus that emerged during the late Pleistocene around 100,000 years ago. The lineage of modern European bison is a little bit trickier because they lived alongside the Eurasian steppe bison during the Middle Pleistocene. The likeliest possibility is that European bison are a result of interbreeding between steppe bison and other Eurasian species. Both American and European bison have lived alongside mankind for thousands of years and have played important roles in human cultures and dinner plates. Native American tribes of the American wilds are famous for their reverence of the bison, which features prominently in mythology and art. The animal was admired for its familial ties, strength, and fighting prowess. Bison bones were fine collectibles, used for decoration, tools, or trade. Bison hides were used to make garments and blankets against the chill. Their skulls were used for decorative or ritualistic purposes. The bison is also a big part of modern North American culture. It is still used as a symbol of power, strength, freedom, and other admirable qualities. Everyone from fitness influencers, banks, security companies, sports teams, and governing institutions use bison symbolism. The Canadian province of Manitoba and the Catholic Diocese of Buffalo, New York both use bison on their coat of arms. A big reason why we admire these animals is their sheer size and presence. They are huge, grizzled, and have a no-nonsense look about them at the best of times. Not to mention the reputation for aggression and bloody gore. Both American and European bison are the largest terrestrial animals on their native continents. American bison can reach 6 feet and 7 inches at the shoulder and have a nose-to-tail length of 11 feet and 6 inches. Weight ranges between 880 and 2,800 pounds. European bison reach heights of 6 feet 11 inches and body lengths of 9 feet 6 inches. Weight can be anything between 1,800 and 2,200 pounds. In both species, males, known as bulls, are significantly larger than females, or cows. In fact, the biggest bulls can be twice the size of fully grown cows. Bison are nomadic animals that are constantly looking for the best grazing. Adult females and their young live in herds headed by elderly females called matriarchs. Young bulls leave their natal herds at 2 to 3 years old and set off to make their own path. Bulls often form small bachelor groups and collaborate to find food and look out for predators. Bulls and females come together during the breeding season. During this time, bulls get very aggressive and will battle other bulls to secure the right to mate. These massive bovines crash headfirst into each other with devastating force until someone taps out. The victor gets to mate with an entire herd of females and sire the next generation of bison. What is a true buffalo? The term true buffalo refers to all animals of the Bubulina subtribe of the bovidae family. Like bison, true buffaloes are generally wild cattle, but a few have been domesticated. There are a few species of true buffalo. We have the African, Syncrius caffer, which is split into 5 subspecies, and the wild Asian water buffalo, Bubulus arni, which has 4 subspecies. Then there are 2 species of Indonesian anoa, or dwarf buffalo. The first is the mountain anoa, Bubulus carlesi, and the other is the lowland anoa, Bubulus depressicornis. Southeast Asia is home to another under-recognized species. The tamara, or Mindoro dwarf buffalo, Bubulus mindorensis, is a cute little buffalo from the island of Mindoro in the Philippines. There is also a domestic species, the domestic Asian water buffalo, Bubulus bubulus. These are split into 2 types, not subspecies. The first type is the river buffalo, which hails from India, and the second is the swamp buffalo, which originated in Southeast Asia and China. Both types have been bred for various traits over the generations, so there are varying domestic water buffalo breeds. Because of all these species, subspecies, types, and breeds, there is a fair amount of variance across the true buffalo subtribe. They differ in size, shape, skeletal structure, horn shape, fur thickness, and habitat preference. However, they also have a lot of things in common, including a general resemblance to each other. True buffaloes are native to Asia and sub-Saharan Africa. But humans have introduced both wild and domestic species to other continents, like the Americas and Australia. Domestic water buffaloes, for instance, continue to impress people from all over the world and have been taken to Europe, Australia, and even South America to work on farms or attract tourists. The Bubulina subtribe first emerged during the late Miocene, about 3.7 million years ago in Eurasia. The Syncerus and Bubulus genera diverged from each other between 9 and 8 million years ago, around the time the earliest Syncerus buffaloes moved down into Africa. Buffaloes range tremendously in size. The largest species is the wild water buffalo. Big bulls can reach a whopping 2,600 pounds and stand up to 6 feet 5 inches at the shoulder. Body length minus the tail is between 7 feet 10 inches and 9 feet 10 inches. Other big species and subspecies include the African Cape buffalo and the domestic water buffalo. The smallest is the mountain anoa, which has a maximum shoulder height of 29.5 inches. In fact, these little guys are the smallest of all wild bovids. Buffaloes also hold great cultural significance in their native lands. In many Asian and African cultures, buffaloes are used as symbols of strength, loyalty, family, and nobility. They are important traditional food sources, and other parts like hooves and horns are used for medicinal purposes. What is the difference between bison and buffalo? The first difference lies in classification. While both bison and buffalo belong to the Bovidae family and Bovini subfamily, they belong to different subtribes. Bison are classified under the Bovina subtribe, while true buffaloes belong to Bubulina. Native homelands differ too these days, though their home ranges likely overlapped in prehistoric Eurasia. Bison are from North America or Europe, while buffaloes are native to Asia and Africa. There are also a few physical differences. American bison are generally larger and heavier than all buffalo species, except the wild Asian water buffalo, which grows taller and longer. However, you may sometimes find individual Cape or domestic water buffaloes that are larger than some American bison individuals of the same age or sex. The European bison occupies the same size range as some big buffaloes, but it doesn't grow as big as the wild Asian water buffalo. Another difference is fur. Bison have shaggier fur than buffaloes, especially during the winter months. When it starts getting cold, bison grow winter coats to shield them from months of sub-zero conditions. This extra fuzz is shed at the beginning of spring. Buffaloes generally have very short fur and minimal shag. Their native environments are typically warmer all year round, and they seldom experience winters as harsh as the ones bison live through. In fact, buffalo hides are more suited to mud wallowing and wading in water to stay cool. Bison have pronounced shoulders that form a hump, which gives them great height, a markedly sloped back, and a lower head position. The hump and low head allow the bison to plow through snow to make trails or reveal hidden grass. Buffalo's backs, in contrast, are not sloped. Additionally, bison have proportionally larger heads than true buffaloes. Bison heads are massive and grizzled, kind of like muskox. Buffaloes have smaller heads that more closely resemble domestic cattle. Horns are different too. Most buffalo species have proportionally larger horns than both extant bison species. Don't get it wrong, bison horns are more than big enough to maim wolves, cougars, and other predators, but the animal's massive heads and thick fur make them look small. Buffalo, on the other hand, have more pronounced horns, and their lack of thick fur makes the horns stand out even more. That said, bison horns tend to be sharper than buffalo horns. Lastly, bison have more hairstyles and facial hair than buffaloes. Individual bison have different fur lengths and patterns, which makes them look like they went for different looks at the salon. You'll also find that bison have pronounced beards under their chins, while buffaloes do not.